For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times, before the Empire.
If you remain the power of the dark side,
You may fire when ready.
I'll show you the dark side. We would be honored if you join us.
Don't worry, Arthur. We're going.
Back it up.
What's going on? But what you have there.
I am a Jedi, like my father.
Welcome back to Blah Wars! Yay! Woo! Got Raj here. Hello. And we've got Bradie here.
Hey guys.
And Jude's at a wedding, but the three of us are going to go through and we're going to talk about Solo and round up all the news this week, like we do normally. Is everyone good?
Yeah, doing well.
Enjoyed your day?
Yeah, it was fun.
Right now, Raj is like on sabbatical from doing any kind of work.
Yeah, I'm just chilling at the moment. I have been for a while, so just
living the high life.
Indeed.
Amazing.
Nice.
Bradie's had the day at home working.
Yep, been working.
We're in your apartment.
We are indeed. Been working from this dining table that we're currently sitting around.
Yeah.
It's been a really lovely day. I haven't experienced any of it, but I've heard it's been good.
And we
got a lot of stuff done. And we have a tiny cat here.
Called Gizmo, who will get some photos of
himself.
Yeah. He's adorable. Look at him.
I love Gizmo.
He's got a gorgeous little squashed face.
Yeah. Black and white with little white feet. And he's looking at the door handle with a lot of curiosity. He's been playing with a lot of the cables.
He likes to do that.
So if the podcast just ends, it's because he destroyed it, took it down.
And we're all going to the vet.
Yeah. Right. So first of all, I've got to tell everybody about MCM Comic Con.
Woohoo! Yeah,
which we're doing next weekend.
Which is mental.
So
next week is insane.
I know, it's a busy week for Blah Wars. So I wrote to the people at MCM Comic Con and said, is it possible to get press passes or whatever? And they're like, yeah, fine. So they just sent them out.
That's so cool. Mine came through.
Yeah, great. So Bradie, myself and Jude will be there with Jude's going to bring his son Jesse along as well, which is going to be sweet. I don't know if we're going to dress him up like Yoda. Maybe we will. But we'll be at MCM Comic Con Saturday 26th. And we're going to be seeing what's around, talking to cosplayers, doing lots of live videos, all kinds of fun stuff.
It's going to be really good fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to talk to Anthony Daniels as well, who I'm too frightened to talk to.
I'll do it. I'll run up.
Would you actually talk to Anthony Daniels?
100%. I'll run up to anyone.
I've spoken to lots of Star Wars people, but Anthony Daniels just seems like hard work.
Just give me a can of Red Bull. I'll be absolutely fine.
Because Jude would be, I think he'd be useless interviewing everyone, but we'll have to see. We might push him into it. He's quite good at going up and talking to cosplayers, just striking up a conversation.
Yeah, I imagine he'd be good at that. Or he can do that. And
before that's on Saturday 26th. Then on 24th of May, we're all going to go and see Solo. Of the four of us, and then we will be recording an episode straight after we've seen it with our review, and then that'll be going out that evening, so the people in America can hear our reactions to it before it's even out.
Are you guys both massively avoiding anything Solo right now? I'm trying so hard to not go near
Lucasfilm
anything.
need to tone it down. There's a TV spot, when you go on YouTube and it says the stuff in the sidebar that's coming up.
Yeah.
TV spot 21. 21 now TV spots out there already.
Jesus.
They're all like 2 minutes of, or like a minute or 2 minutes of footage.
So you just add them all together and you've got
like an hour of the movie already online that you can probably assemble in some order. I've been avoiding them. I've seen one
I'm literally
clip.
Scared to Google Solo right now.
Yeah,
in any kind of
it's very, very
capacity.
difficult because it's been at Cannes, so they've seen that it's out there. People have seen it. We've had the world premiere, so people know what's happening in the movie. The reviews are in as well, and I've just seen headlines.
That's the thing. I saw a headline and it told me something already, and I was like, "What the hell?"
See, I'm quite proud of myself. I've managed to avoid it, and I'm really surprised at how I haven't given in to looking at any of the reviews or any of the trailers.
That's the thing. I wasn't looking for spoilers. I literally just put
the spoilers found you.
yeah, they always find me. Yeah, I literally just put solo or into because I was looking for something. I can't remember what it was. I think I was looking for a date or something.
Reverse that.
Okay,
What's going on?
No,
what's going on?
Your search for dating is solo.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm solo. If you're solo, no. We already just said we weren't going to discuss my dating status on the podcast.
Oh no, we won't. We'll never do that. We'll never do that.
But yeah, and then it just all of a sudden, boom! There's a headline telling me something that I didn't need to know right now.
Right. Okay. Well, don't tell us what that is, but tell us what it was on Thursday after we've seen Solo.
I don't think it's gonna. Sorry about that.
I thought a motorcycle was coming in your apartment. Then for a minute, we're sitting outside a main road. So that is a loud bike.
I know.
Anyway,
yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
It's very interesting that just to touch on that because compared to say the main Star Wars films, they don't give a lot away at all, and yet with Solo they've gone down a slightly different route where there isn't all this mystery around what the film's about. They are quite happy to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know.
It's a bit worrying that they're giving away so much of their movie.
Well, I'm wondering, because they're very clever at Disney, especially looking at. A part of the reason, by the way, I've been very good at avoiding Solo is that I've had practice with avoiding everything for Infinity War, so that's put me in a good frame of mind. But I wonder if that's a very conscious decision, if they're trying to reach out to a slightly different market or a different demographic by because it's a very deliberate move, isn't it, compared to the previous Star Wars films?
Yeah. Well, I guess
with The Last Jedi, they did do a similar thing. They did do a similar thing with The Last Jedi where they just showed so much of it. Online,
did they?
Especially in the days just before release.
Maybe it's just me then. I just become very good at avoiding stuff.
Yeah, I managed to avoid all that stuff.
I saw it, and Jude saw it too, but we didn't watch everything. We just we chose not to watch anything. We were getting all listeners sending us clips and stuff saying, "Oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you seen that?" It's like we don't want to see it. We're going to go on Blackdown as soon as when this episode's out. We're going to be offline. We're not going to be contactable. But yeah, it's very well done for avoiding it.
Yeah.
It is worrying, though. Why do you think they're showing so much of the film in preview? Is it because they don't...
Honestly,
they're worried about the box office numbers on this one?
I think there's a couple of things.
I think it's partly that.
I think so far it's been a good year for cinema goers. Like a lot of people have gone to see Black Panther, then they've gone to see...
great.
It was, and the Avengers movie. And like Avengers is breaking all the records. Bearing in mind Solo comes out next week, there's still a certain momentum. Maybe they just want to make sure, hey, there is another movie coming out. It's not just about Marvel.
No, exactly.
I do think as well that I don't know, and again, this is perception, but I think there was a little bit more anticipation around Rogue One, maybe the time of year as well. I mean, that's the other thing Christmas. As well, because Christmas time, if you move like the movies that make the most money, whether it's Avatar or Titanic, they tend to be at Christmas releases. True. Yeah. So that's why Avengers is bucking the trend slightly. So I don't know if they're conscious of that. So they're like, right, we need to just push this a little bit harder because it's a summer release. So I think there's a kind of a commercial thing, and also just to remind people there is something else out there, right? Not just Marvel, basically. Yeah. And maybe as well, well, I was going to say they don't have a big star, but they've got an amazing cast. So which we'll touch on later. So forget my last point. Yeah.
There's quite a lot of famous people in this movie that I never expected to see in a Star Wars film.
An incredible cast when you sort of look at it. Yeah, like just the Woody Harrelson, Paul Bettany, Donald Glover, who's so hot at the moment. And I don't know if anyone's seen. I've said this before. Atlanta is amazing.
You did on the other show.
Emilia Clarke. Yeah. I'm sure there's other people whose names I'm missing. So.
Fandy.
Oh, Fandy Newton as well.
Newton or Shaw?
Fandy Newton.
It's Newton, right?
I thought she had two names that she goes by, but okay, no, my mistake. Yeah. Might be Newton then. Yeah, Westworld. Yeah, I know best from.
Yeah, Westworld. So a lot of good actors affiliated with a lot of good movies and TV shows. So great. It's good. On paper, it's going to be great to see. Yeah, I hope. That's why I just really hope we get to see those fantastic actors really used well, and that's why.
I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. I've got a good feeling about it. I think it's going to be good.
Okay, that's interesting because when I spoke to Raj about this last time, neither of us were particularly hyped about it.
No.
So in those subsequent months, you've turned around to it more.
I think. I think our last podcast was a form of catharsis, actually, because we saw the trailers.
Yeah.
Which, God, it was like after Super Bowl. So
it was right after Super Bowl. Yeah,
and I think I'm just much more open-minded about what this film's going to be like, and I also think, on reflection, I want this film, although it's going to be set in the Star Wars universe, I don't want it to necessarily have the structure of the Star Wars films we've seen before. You know, with the exception.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, and I think I'm beginning to realise that if that's the case, that's a good thing, because I really want this film to do well. I want to enjoy it, and I hope if it does well commercially, what I would love to see, and I've mentioned this before, is I would love to see more Star Wars films that are set in that wonderful world that they've created, but don't necessarily follow. You know, it doesn't have to be about
the convention of the Star Wars.
It doesn't have to be about the Empire or the Rebels or about the Force.
I think that's where they're going now, though, isn't it? And I think that's another reason why there's been so much more kind of teasers and stuff around Solo than there was even around Rogue One, because Rogue One was still very much in the kind of canonical sort of Star Wars films. It was like it was an addendum to A New Hope, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas this is trying to bring in a whole new audience and talk about, like you said, new worlds, new storylines, new characters, different parts of the Star Wars universe we haven't seen before. So I think that's another reason why they're probably doing it.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I've got massive expectations for it now.
How are you really? Your expectations really high.
They are.
Are we going to have to pick you up off the floor if you don't like it afterwards?
They've upped the ante, and it's a 2.5-hour film as well.
All movies are nowadays, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
they can't do 90 minutes like they did in the 80s.
No, they can't. They can't really.
It's really annoying, though.
Although that film recently, what's that film where they have to be silent? The whole, what's it called? It's called something like Silence.
Oh, you mean the horror?
The horror film.
Oh,
A Quiet Place.
The Quiet Place.
Yeah.
90 minutes, and it's just perfect length. It just feels like, that's a great.
Well, I miss that
Great
kind of
example.
discipline in cinema, actually.
Yeah.
I liked I think I'm a massive 80s movie fan, but I liked that they had to, you had 90 minutes and you had to get good characters, interesting dialogue, a good narrative.
And it wasn't
down
part of a saga
and get it in.
as well. It was just a standalone film.
I wonder why that is. Maybe it's just because they spend so much money, they want to have more bang for your buck, or I don't know.
I also think children are more entertained. They're easily entertained in 90 minutes than they are for 2 hours.
Yeah, because if you're going to take kids,
yeah.
I mean, like Jude's kid, he's quite young.
Yeah.
To sit there for 2.5 hours is going to be hard work, isn't it?
He doesn't sit there, he just runs around the aisles of the cinema.
I think as well, though, our expectations around what we see in cinema are completely different, because once upon a time you could land a spaceship at the end of a film and everyone would come away going, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Now, if you don't land a spaceship in the first 3 seconds, people come out like, that's our worst film,
what a
it's
great
boring.
observation.
Yeah.
That's why, James Bond
great.
movies start with massive explosions, Marvel films, start with a huge thing, like things exploding, people bleeding, all that kind of stuff.
And then you
Because,
cut back to a calm thing for 20 minutes, and then you start to ramp it up again.
So I reckon if you were to sift out all the explosions and all the crazy stuff from movies now, you probably end up with about, if you're lucky, 20 minutes of actual characters having actual conversations.
It's interesting actually, because you made me think about the original Star Wars film. And how you get that sort of entrance by Darth Vader at the beginning, but then you get about 30 minutes of 2 droids walking around a desert.
Exactly.
It is quite strange, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Expectations have changed a lot.
And then you
It's
get people
where we
having
make movies.
conversations in spaceships and nothing, and there's a massive build-up, and then when you finally see that huge thing, and then they have to go and sort all that jazz, then that's at the end, which is where it's supposed to occur in a movie.
Yeah.
For me, I think when it comes to expectations, I mean, having just seen the teaser and the first trailer, what I'm curious to see is how much of Solo is going to be an origin story.
So hold on a minute, you haven't seen any of the subsequent trailers?
No.
You didn't see the clip of Chewbacca playing chess?
No.
Okay, right,
no.
okay.
No, I've deliberately
avoided everything.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, that's interesting. I was going to talk about that clip because it's just a beautiful little scene, and it was
I think I've seen him playing chess.
You haven't seen the scene where Chewbacca is playing chess?
No.
And for the first time, he's discovering how to use holo chess.
No.
They just put this little minute of footage out.
No, I don't want to see it. I
Between
don't want
him
to
and
see it.
Woody
I'm not
Allen.
going to do
This is
it.
interesting because again, I'm not using Star Wars, but I don't know how long. I would say in the last sort of 15 years or so, it's become a thing to have origin stories, particularly with like comic book characters, but also whether it's Hannibal or whatever, Hannibal Rising. Like, oh, let's go back and do an origin story for a well-established character.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that was an unnecessary film,
well,
wasn't it?
Unfortunately,
Hannibal
some
Rising.
of those, and I think of like. Off the top of my head, having just seen a comic, I think of like Wolverine origins and stuff like that. And unfortunately, some of those origin films, it's too much sort of kind of lip service to fans, and just they kind of almost crowbar things in. And like I know, the hologram chest, but I'm wondering if there's going to be too many of like force of here's a little nod to the past, because I want if it's going to be a good origin story, it has to feel
like
I
that.
only want to see it if if it has something to do with what we're about to see,
it does.
or the rest of the film.
Well,
then it's
the 1 minute
interesting.
I've seen does have like some meaning to it. It's not just it's funny to get the
But I
old
mean, in
chess
terms of
table
like
out
origin
again.
story, if I'm going to see this person when they're 7 years old running around pretending to be, like a fighter pilot, I want that to have a reason, not just because it's kind of like nostalgic sort of.
I know what you mean.
Here they were back on the farm, blah blah blah. Like I actually want to.
It's okay. We'll just tap that on the table.
It's true. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bradie. Like, I just don't. I don't want it to feel forced. And that's
no pun intended.
Okay, yeah.
Just be careful with that word on this show. You don't feel forced.
And I'm so. How much of it is an origin story, and how much of it is going to? I got a feeling it's there's a heist in there somewhere, isn't there? And how much of
definitely.
that is it just going to be something like the sort of Star Wars equivalent to the Italian Job, which is I'd prefer it to be less an origin story and more like I only come to blow the bloody doors off type. Which would be amazing. Yeah,
I've got an idea.
I'm hoping for a heist. I'm hoping for an
It
Italian
ends
Job.
with the Falcon and Pete like this seesawing on the edge of an asteroid. Chewie, I got an idea.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That's what I'm hoping for.
Nice one. Yeah.
Rather than this kind of forced, we're going to explain everything, even stupid things like how he got his waistcoat still.
If it goes into that sort of level of granular cock sucking, then I'm going to be very upset. I just don't want to see that.
No.
But I mean, the hollow chest thing I saw wasn't like that at all. There was actually kind of like a lesson that Chewbacca's being taught about like predicting the opponent's move. I don't know if that's.
And I hope there's not too much. The other thing about
Anticipate.
origin is when there's just too much coincidence. Oh, it's so. I mean,
I
films are
know.
really guilty of that, aren't they?
Well, in the new films, they're really guilty of that.
Yeah, it's true.
Because like the Falcon, the way that gets brought back into the story,
that's
and then
true,
the way that they find the Falcon, like Han finds the Falcon, like after it's in space for minutes. I think we talked about this on the show, and we were
think
getting
it's
really
because of
pissed
time
off.
travel, but I mean that's just my opinion.
No, because they do this now, Raj.
They brought it back in canon.
They've brought in time traveling to the Star Wars in the Rebels series, which is canon.
Wow.
Have you heard the news this week?
Oh God, here we go. What's happened?
According to Jonathan Kasdan, who is the co-scriptwriter of this.
Is that as father and son, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
According to him, and Disney have not verified this, but Lando is pansexual.
Oh, that's the thing I read.
Okay, right.
Okay, so because what I read wasn't going to spoil anything.
I don't know if that's alluded to in the film, but I had to Google what pansexual was because I didn't know that one. So anyway, now I do. If anyone's not sure, it means that people who are attracted to anybody of regardless of their gender or their gender identity. Yeah.
Or in, I guess, Star Wars, their species,
exactly.
Maybe Lando likes
sense.
a Wookiee. I don't know. We'll guess we'll find out.
I'm pretty sure that in the original Star Wars film, Han Solo had cut scenes where he's got like a weird alien girlfriend. She's humanoid, but she's not human.
What, in the movies?
Yeah, in A New Hope.
Really?
Yeah, Han had a lady.
In the actual movies we all saw?
No, it was cut. It was a cut scene from A New Hope. Before you meet him with Greedo, he had this alien girlfriend.
I'm intrigued to see it because we'll see how it plays out. It's one thing. It's one thing to make a statement, but how do you actually represent that? But I guess until we see the film, we won't know.
See him kissing Han, going right in there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So, okay, well, I just think it's interesting they're just going back and then sort of like changing it. Because, I mean, they said they wanted to put an LGBT character in the film. But they haven't given the reason why they didn't. So maybe Disney were like, this is a bit much for us. I don't know.
Again,
Disney,
this goes. Well, I don't want things to feel forced. If it happens, it's got to feel very natural, hasn't it? And, well, we'll just see when the movie. I mean, I welcome it, but if it's done
it'd be nice.
if it's done in an organic kind of, good way, then I think that'd be really fantastic to see. But we'll watch the movie and we'll see. Yeah.
So talk about the characters in this. The Enfys Nest character. Well, let's get some predictions down for what you expect to see in the film. Yeah.
Well, are we going to do predictions now? Okay, I have a little list.
Because I'm absolutely convinced I know who the masked villain is.
Okay.
So
that's only by
who's going to be. Sorry, I missed.
So in the trailer there is a villain with like a mask on, with all kind of fur. Her name's Enfys Nest. Okay, there's a woman. We know that much from.
I have an idea of who I think she might be.
Yeah.
But
I'm absolutely sure it's Thandie Newton's
Yeah, that's
character.
what I thought.
I reckon she'll get killed off early on in the film, and you won't see her die, and then it'll be her back for revenge or something like that.
Okay, that's your first prediction.
My other prediction is that the first scene of the movie will take place quite a long time before the rest of the film.
Okay.
So you'll have like a time jump, a bit like we did in Rogue One, where you set the scene and then you jump forward after the credits, by 10 years or so. So something like that.
It's very kind of Star Trek, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to sort of show why someone's pissed off at something, and then you have to go back in time for that. So I reckon we're going to see a bit of that.
Okay. 3 more? We'll get 5.
Jabba the Hutt must make an appearance in this film.
Okay.
Final scene, I reckon.
Okay.
Han Solo gets a call, gets a text. Like, I've got a job for you. Come over to Tatooine.
What do they call it? Forced time.
Oops, sorry, I dropped my phone. Forced time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
Forced time.
Yeah.
Do we think we'll see any reference to the how much reference to the Force, whether it's the light or the dark side? Do you think we'll see
that's an
any?
interesting point.
That is a good one, because there's no obvious candidates of Force users in this film.
And there's from
Force
what I've
wielders,
seen,
what a
there's
great
no one who
word.
seems Force sensitive. I mean that's something Donnie Yen's character kind of you don't necessarily have to be a Jedi or a Sith.
Yeah.
But you can
And also Jin's mother, as we mentioned in the Rogue One commentary we did. Yeah.
So I'd
Jin's
like
mother.
to see how much of that, because it's a religion, isn't it? So
Yeah, because we might see it more from a religious aspect as opposed to actual users. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to do what is still a Star Wars movie and not show a bit of the Force in action. I'd be really surprised.
And also, I'm curious to see how much of the politics of Star Wars is going to. I mean, we know that from the trailer that he's going to at one point try and be a pilot or a.
It looks like he joins the Empire.
Yeah.
Which
signs up as a kid.
But he says that I got kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own.
Which is I think that's really a really interesting sort of concept. That if you think back to when you first saw Han Solo in Tatooine with Greedo, to think that's a guy that like an ex-cop or an ex-soldier. That's a whole new dynamic to
But
it,
I think about it more like he was a street kid. I imagine it was kind of a case of late teens, and he does what a lot of kids do now, is that they sign up because they want to have a chance at a better life and more education and a better way of living and discipline and training and a skill that's transferable. So maybe that's why he did it. I don't imagine he did it out of any kind of ideological reasons. But it'd be interesting to see. So you've had 3. You've got 2 more. You've got 2 more predictions.
I don't think we're going to see Boba Fett.
No.
Although that would be a fan pleaser.
Yeah.
But I do think we're going to see some of the older bounty hunters that you see on that bridge in Empire Strikes Back. I really hope we do. Like the more obscure ones, like Zuckuss,
that'd be cool.
the guy in the big coat, or Dengar or whatever. Those little ones that we all had figures for in the 90s, but we didn't have any real information about who they are or what they were. That would be nice. I'd like to see that. And I reckon Han will betray Lando
Interesting.
quite cruelly. But in a bit, I had this imagination of the I just keep thinking of the end of Train Spotting. You know, when Ewan McGregor wakes up and everyone's asleep and he sees the suitcase of the money and he takes it and tiptoes out the door and runs off. It's a similar kind of... I reckon Han's going to do that. I reckon he's going to walk out with a lot of money.
Interesting.
Although maybe the money gets lost. Maybe he gets robbed. Because I don't trust the Woody Harrelson character at all.
No, definitely not.
Because he seems a bit like...
So that was going to be one of mine actually. I reckon Beckett betrays Han.
Yeah.
I reckon because he's the guy who always says don't trust anybody. He's always the person who's also covertly saying
what
and by
happened to
anybody
Han Solo
I mean me.
to make him so sceptical of everybody and everything?
I don't think we're going to see that in this movie. I don't think we're going to see the entire reason behind why he doesn't trust anything and anyone in one film. I think that happened to that character because over a period of time, I imagine like that would have been something that would have built up over time.
Okay.
I reckon actually in this one we'll probably maybe see him even slightly more idealistic in the sense that he does still trust the people he's gone in with to do this job. And this is his first taste, of what little trust he has being chipped away. That's my first prediction. I reckon Beckett's going to betray Han.
Yeah.
I also think, my second one is, I don't think Han is going to turn out to be a great pilot. I think Chewie is the great pilot.
Okay.
And I think because he seems to be a good driver. Mm-hmm. But I'd love the idea that maybe he gets through, but he's not like skillful. He's not kind of. I think that
not graceful enough.
No, I think Chewie's got
authority.
I think maybe Chewie's got
impatient,
the skills.
Maybe.
And Han's kind of got the bravado and the kind of decision making.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
We pointed this out, didn't we? That every time we see Han flying, Chewie's by his side,
doing all the stuff.
Or Ray. Yeah, so maybe Han Solo is actually.
I think he knows his way, and I think he knows his way around a ship. But I don't think he's necessarily the great pilot he always wanted to be. But I think he gets through stuff on guts and bravado and courage and some element of skills, but not as much as he thinks. So that's my second one. Okay. I think Chewie does leave a wife or a partner.
He has a wife and a baby.
Does he?
Have you never seen the Star Wars
Christmas
holiday special?
No.
What the fuck, Bradie?
No.
But is that
not worth watching?
Wait,
yes, it's canon. Yes, it's canon.
Is it
Definitely.
canon?
Yes, it's canon.
The way your
it was
voice
a
is going up
made-for-TV
makes
Thanksgiving
baby mama
special.
and his little kid. That's got a completely different perspective on Chewie.
In the Star Wars holiday special, it's set after A New Hope, and it was made for that Christmas as Star Wars came out. They needed to put together like a show, or some CBS wanted a show, and George Lucas said begrudgingly okay, but it was basically a variety show, so it involves a lot of dance numbers and songs and stuff. Even Leia has a song at the end, which is great. No, it's not. But most of the plot involves what Chewie's family are doing, and he's got a wife called Marla who has. He looks just like Chewie, but she has a great big red apron.
But didn't you say they put a call out?
A call out?
Last time we did a podcast, did you say they put a call out for a character called Marla?
No, Mara.
Mara, okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's got something to do with Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to you? No, he's shaking. Roger's shaking his head. Never mind. We talked about the last show. It's probably irrelevant. But anyway, so he's got a wife called Marla. He's got a little boy Wookiee called Lumpy. Who's got like way too many teeth for a child, like maybe like 40 teeth, like really big weird smile. You've seen the holiday special?
I have.
He's still having nightmares, and he's got a dad as well called Grumpy. Or Lumpy or something.
Oh, this cannot be canon.
Itchy. It's called Itchy, and he's got a massive overbite, and he's
this
like,
and
he watches porn. He watches a human woman dancing, doing like a sexy dance with a VR helmet. You've got to see the Star Wars holiday special if you haven't.
Chewie's now strikes me as one of those kind of hillbilly fathers that you see on like a really trashy like daytime TV show like Jeremy Kyle or whatever. Yeah. That's terrible. Chewie left his baby mama and his kid just so he can just go on adventures.
I assume he sends money home now and again.
Do you not get my checks, darling? Marlon, do you not get my checks?
They never like allude to it in the film. And I do wonder what's going on with it now, but they never allude to it in the films.
Bad dad, bad father, bad father.
funny.
But so you think we're going to see
Maybe they die.
We're going to see Chewie's family or origins or
Oh,
whatever.
we've already seen that in a clip. We see him saying goodbye to someone that I'm
He
convinced
bangs
is all
heads with somebody. Like
convinced
headbutts.
it was not a headbutt.
It was a headbutt.
That wasn't. No, it was a forehead to forehead tender little goodbye
Okay.
moment.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, like he does with the ladder in Empire Strikes Back when after the gate shuts, he's like, "Hmm."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, consistency.
Okay.
I reckon Kira dies.
This is Amelia Clark.
Yeah.
I
reckon she dies.
I reckon she might because she's not in the other films, so you've got to kill her off, sort of thing.
Well, I don't know. We don't. Well, she might be in the other films. We don't know how many solo movies they're
true.
making. My
He's
final
signed
one.
on for 2 more, but we can talk about that in a minute.
Oh, cool. In my final one, I think that Han originally loses to Lando in the card game.
Okay.
I think he loses to him and doesn't win the Falcon until the end of the movie. And I think he gets the Falcon by means of trickery or cheating. He wouldn't call it cheating. I think he'd call it, I don't know,
Like a no-win
trickery
situation,
or
like the kind of Kobayashi Maru.
I wouldn't be surprised if the way Lando wins when they're playing cards is the same way that Han wins at the end, if that makes any sense.
I see what you mean.
I reckon he watches
He
Lando.
learns how to cheat
Learns how to cheat
from Lando.
It's from Lando and then applies it to him at the end.
So that's what is that what Lando's alluding to? Like when he says, "Oh, you slimy, no good swindler, you got a lot of guts coming back here after what you pulled."
And he was like,
he's
"I want it
"What,
fair
me?"
and square."
And what
he means is, by your rules,
Okay.
I want it fair and square.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's what I reckon.
Have you got any predictions for this?
Well, Bradie
To join in.
got my one about Beckett betraying Han. I think that will happen as well.
Yeah.
You kind of touched on is it Kira?
Mm-hmm.
I think. I mean, she may. I think the fundamental things. I think she'll break his heart. I think she'll be the love interest, and I think that he'll have an affinity. I think he'll have his heart broken by her or something like that.
Okay.
And I think that will make him very cynical about women, you know.
Yeah.
And I touched on him earlier. I think Greedo's going to turn up.
Oh, that would be great. I completely forgot to mention
I'm
Greedo.
Be more specific. I think there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs at the card game. I think there's going to be a couple of familiar faces
At the table.
Oh, that'd be great.
Well, like Mos Eisley faces.
Well, I think I think the writers will go through all the previous sort of even everything from droids to sort of canon stuff, and they'll find some obscure characters or maybe some not so obscure characters and just have them.
Yeah.
So that
Did that in Rogue One, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Put a couple of dotted them in there, like they're the guy who goes, "Hey, just watch yourself."
Yeah,
that one,
yeah,
you
exactly,
better,
yeah.
That's his sort of catchphrase.
That's all he says.
You better watch yourself.
I think the card
You
game will
better
have
watch
us
yourself.
all
How are
have us
you?
smiling. We'll get there, and there'll be at least one or two familiar faces. I do think Greedo will, because the thing is, Greedo's such a especially for the fans, who shot first and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's got to be. I feel like he's kind of. Yeah, when I first think of when you think the first time you see Solo in the original version, like that, you see him shoot this dude.
They've got a bit of history.
Yeah,
It's
there's
quite
got to be
obvious.
some
Yeah,
reference to
yeah.
that somewhere, and I love.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, just
Definitely, Han.
Maybe Greedo's the connection that gets him to meet Jabba the Hutt.
Who knows?
At the end.
Who knows? See, I don't know if I'd want to see Jabba in this one.
Is Greedo a bounty hunter? I've never really.
I can't remember.
about it.
Yeah, he must be.
Oh yeah, because he says, "I'm lucky I found you first." Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Right. So he is. he is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would like to say keep Jabba for another.
For the second one?
Yeah.
If he's in it at all, I want him to be a
I
proper
really-
puppet one.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if they do tease him at the end, though, just to get you to want to see the second.
Yeah.
Not that we need
So do you
persuading,
genuinely
but-
think there's going to be a second Solo film called Solo 2, or it's going to be like a
there's
role
no way on
inside
this-
another movie?
I reckon they'll. Oh God, that's a good point. Actually, I hadn't thought about
Because I
rolling
don't
inside
know
another
if we're
movie.
going to. I don't know if
do
we're
that,
really
we're
going to
going to
get
end up
hold
being
of the Han
very
Solo
Marvel.
film.
We're going to end up very Marvel if we end up. Well, we're not going to do a Solo movie 2, but we're going to use. That
What more do you
character.
have to tell us? Like, surely one sort of spin-off adventure with Han Solo is
Depends
enough.
what happens in it, though, really, doesn't it?
Like I
we
think
get
it's
introduced to what else we need to know.
I think it's just money.
Obviously, it's
Yeah, I
funny.
think
Yeah,
if the film does well enough, and if the critical and the response is good, then they might say, okay, he's a good solo. If he's popular, then they'll do one. If the film, God forbid, is a disaster and it completely mucks up, they're like, well, let's just move on to something else,
Yeah.
And you're right. After that, they'll be like, okay, well, let's do a second movie, and that could open up other possibilities. Let's, without having, we don't know which characters are going to turn up in this one. But let's say, for argument's sake, Boba Fett isn't in this one. If they do a second, they might tease him in the second one and then do a spin-off Boba Fett film,
right, yeah.
But I think it depends on how popular reception on this.
I'd be surprised if they put this much time and effort into like these characters and you getting relationships with them, and then they're like, and now we will never use them ever again. We will never.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if they did
See,
that.
I mean, again, you're right. I mean, why did they decide? I still am curious as to why they decided to bring this out in May rather than at Christmas time. What was the thinking behind that? Was that, again, is that deliberate? I know it sounds really...
I think, it's interesting because even with the problems they had with the film and they did the reshoots, they still didn't push the deadline back. And me and Jude had been saying, they're going to push it back to Christmas blatantly. So there'll be a film for
Christmas.
Christmas.
There's a marketing strategy behind that. I really do. Maybe I'm reading it too much, but if you think about it, the guys, the thinking to the future about spin-offs and stuff like, they're thinking, right guys, we've basically got Christmas locked down the way Lord of the Rings did 15 whatever it was years ago, because we can just have a Star Wars movie every Christmas. So why did they decide to bring it this summer? I don't know.
They can't be making another one, because how long have we known about Solo? We would know about another one by now, wouldn't we?
All we
There's
know
no
is that
possible way we could know about another one.
There are 3 standalone films that have been commissioned. Okay, Rogue One was one, Solo was the other. The third one is alleged to be a Ben Kenobi film, but there's no official confirmation of that.
Yeah, but we would.
That's what you got to
remember.
remember.
But if that was going to be released in
that would be 2020.
Yeah.
So it would have to start production soon.
Why would you think I'm reading into it? Why wouldn't you release Solo at Christmas? You would clean up at Christmas
Yeah,
time.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, cynics might say it's a lack of confidence in the movie, but
they couldn't have known because they set the release date before they started shooting it.
So I'm wondering if there's...
Maybe they need the money for...
Is this part of a strategy where they're going to start releasing
do you remember The Last Jedi was supposed to come out in May as well? In May 2017, and it got pushed back to Christmas 2017.
I just wonder...
So I think they pushed it back due to, I don't know,
I just wonder if it's
post-production reasons or overworking. Okay.
Well, it depends really whether they look at their marketing in terms of a franchise by franchise, whether they look at the whole of what they're putting out over the year and go, I don't know, in terms of money, like in terms of flow.
I mean, it'd be crazy if they did it, but do you think they'll go down... I mean, Disney's just taking over, but do you think they'll go down the route of, now you get at least 2 Marvel films a year? Maybe, well, I think...
Yeah, you do. 2 or 3.
3, yeah. Do you reckon they want to sort of almost like sort of say, okay, this Memorial Weekend window, we're going to put a pin in there and say, right, we're going to release a summer Star Wars movie, and then we're going to have a Star Wars movie at the end of the year. I'm just
Once they get rolling, it really wouldn't surprise me if they had.
It would be very good for us, wouldn't it? I think we'd literally be rubbing our knees. We wouldn't have any fucking fabric left.
Iron Man came out, and then it was, if you use Marvel, because it's
you're talking about the Iron Man, the first
one, because it's all
2008.
Disney, so they're all sort of. Disney of that strategy is like, right, it was 1 movie a year, and then at some point, by the second phase, it was 2 movies a year.
You can't avoid them now. Every 5 minutes.
Yeah, now I'm wondering if this is...
If they can sell toys, if they can sell like a dressing up costume for children, then they'll do it. They will. Maybe. It would probably get to that point.
Yeah, maybe they thought, look, this is a bit of a risk anyway, so a bit like... Again, from a strategy marketing point of view, it's a bit like Guardians of the Galaxy. I know I keep using Marvel, but it's like, look, we don't know how this is going to play out, but if it does well, then that's a bonus. So we can lock down this window, and then maybe 2 years down the line, we can, have one coming out.
I wonder though, because I think that's a really interesting idea, and I think that's definitely a possibility. But it's interesting when you compare something like Star Wars as a franchise, or as a piece of as a piece of story, and then comparing it to things like Marvel, because they're all individual stories that can very much sort of do their own thing, and they don't have a kind of a really hardcore, loyal 30 years worth of a fan base behind them, kind of with expectations, with demands a lot of the time. And I think that they have to be extremely much more careful. I mean, you can make a crap Marvel movie and no one really gives a toss.
You can just remake it a year later.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can remake it 3 times and no one really bats an eyelid. But if you fuck up a Star Wars film, any Star Wars film, you're in serious trouble because its impacts on because of those 3 films that came out 30 years ago.
This is interesting because this goes back to like what I was saying earlier about. I think tonally that's enough. You know, we've talked about our predictions, but I do wonder what the tone of this film is. Even the original '77 movie had this kind of part of its appeal was the philosophy, wasn't it? Like, you know, talking about the Force and this spirituality. I wonder if they're trying to get this sort of like.
And the new ones are quite dark, aren't they? Like from Rogue One through to.
Particularly Last Jedi.
Particularly Last Jedi. They're much darker.
I wonder if this is aimed at like those 8-year-old kids. This is more kind of like there's less philosophizing spirituality and it's more like a romp.
Yeah.
And so
I think you're right, yeah.
And I do think that maybe they'll be like, okay, we'll release one film a year which is you know, for the hardcore fans, which has that deep philosophy.
That would be smart.
And then we'll have
Disney's
like
part.
the fun, like the kids version, quote unquote, which is more. Because could you imagine?
We know they're all supposed to be kids versions, but I get what you mean in the sense that like they do have that darker.
Still pisses me off when people go, "Oh, Star Wars is a kids' film." It's
screw 'em.
It's not really, is it? I mean, it's a Universal film. It's like, we may as well say Jaws is a kids' film because it's a PG.
That's not a kids' film.
Exactly.
Jesus.
If you look at Last Jedi, whether it's 12A in this country or PG-13 in the US, could you imagine an 8-year-old processing some of the stuff that's coming out of Last Jedi? I mean, they're not, are they?
I mean, if you've listened to our commentary, you'll know that there's the Holy Mother.
Yeah, the Holy Mother. Honestly, we did this commentary with Bradie in the Last Jedi, and she was like, "Oh, this," because he knew Bradie from work, as we explained to you before, and he says, "Oh, we should get on the show to do this podcast to the Last Jedi commentary." And I said, "Yeah, okay, fine." And it was very kind of last minute, and you came in and you just sat there and you just peeled back these layers that had gone over me and Jude's head completely, revealing all of these like just the little subtle things that are going on in the background and the themes of what was it called, the Maidens.
We had Death of the Maiden.
Yes, sorry.
Lots of sort of applying like literary tropes to film, like reading film, if you like.
Mythology.
And it's all different, mythology and stuff. Which is like sort of like how
it was like she was watching the film with X-ray eyes, like going through a painting and like peeling back the layers. It was really cool. No, it's really cool. But I can't wait to hear all 3 of us see this film. Go, oh, that's great, and you come sit down.
And this makes me wonder. I wonder if Solo's going to be the antithesis of that, where it's just see what you say. Well, we'll see. But it would. I'm convinced that that's their. You know, I'm convinced that's their angle. They want to open up a new market, basically, and which it could be a good thing. I'm not poo-pooing it. I just think.
I think they're always going to be tied to that, still having to deliver on the expectations of Star Wars fans, because it will definitely attract new ones, but it also doesn't have the superhero pull that Marvel does, because you can persuade an 8-year-old to go and watch a movie about Spider-Man, watch a movie about Batman, because those are the toys they've got in their chest, their toy chest. But persuading a kid to go and watch a movie about some guy called Han Solo, who they have no idea who he is because he's not a superhero and he can't fly and he doesn't.
But it's got spaceships, it's got lasers, and it's a big furry man.
I get the pull, but I think that it's probably. I think they're still going to have to kind of appease old Star Wars fans at the same time, which I think will make it a trickier thing than Marvel. But I think you're right. I think that's what they're going to do. But they're just going to have to walk a fine line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we've touched on this before. I think now that you're right, I totally agree with what you're saying. But I think they're probably thinking, you know, it's the Star Wars is more than 40 years old. But yeah, we've got those fans. We've got the people that really sort of read it deeply. But then there's the next generation.
Yeah, for sure.
And
which is why they're doing different characterizations. Is why they've got like a young woman as a lead, which is nice to see finally. And a bunch of other things they've got going on.
Oh, you're referring to in Last Jedi? Mm-hmm. Yes, sorry, I thought you meant.
Yeah, so they're trying to bring in.
Really?
No.
Kira? Okay.
Yeah. No, they're trying to bring. But apparently, so I did see a still of her fighting like a gangster with a sword. She looked amazing.
Cool, with a sword?
Yeah, she looked really cool. He had
right.
this red.
Dagger.
Yeah, but with like force light with like a laser.
Okay.
And she was fighting him with a sword, so she's clearly a bit of a badass.
Cool. All right. Great.
Did you have a dragon with her? No?
Oh.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And she got Arnold Schwarzenegger with her, protecting her. Have you seen the Terminator film with her in?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I heard it's
Yeah,
bad.
I know. Yeah, it's
I don't
not
have
good.
very. I mean, I don't think she's everything she's in is incredible. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to being won over by her. Please, I was not convinced with oh god, what's her name? Sorry, Rogue One, Jyn Erso.
Felicity
Really?
Jones.
Really? I thought she was great.
Wait, so did I.
Before I saw the film, and then I saw the
right.
film, and I was like, I really loved her. Not like loved her sexually. I mean, I just she was great. She was wonderful.
I think you have a harder job as a woman, particularly in an action movie, because
I'm not saying I'm going in there hating anyone.
No.
I'm
I
just saying
mean, no.
that-
I don't think you are.
because
I'm just saying.
Newton, I know is going to be
I think it like
delivering.
Yeah, I think expectations subconsciously may be a bit higher when you casting a woman in what is stereotypically more like a masculine, adventurous kind of, you know, I don't know, more violent kind of role. I think people's expectations on female actresses can sometimes be higher.
Yeah.
Because they're not convinced that they're going to be able to pull that kind of role off.
It was
That's
interesting.
what I was going to say. I'm just eating a peanut now.
That's an interesting point because before we started this podcast, I sort of used this movie from the early 2000s, Tomb Raider, with Angelina Jolie as a good example because she. I mean,
when you said I'm not going to show, because we were talking about like your nieces,
Yeah.
and you said I'm not going to show the Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
and I thought you meant the video game, but
No.
the
So, I mean,
PlayStation
basically,
game.
anyone who's seen that film, that is just
The
like
portrayal of
it's objectifying
Jolie's
women, but
portrayal, yeah.
to use an English phrase, it's like just wank fodder for like fanboys, basically. And
So
you know, it's
Yes.
there's something that's just totally disingenuous. However,
I tell you what, most guys don't even fucking like it as well. Have you seen
yeah.
Charlie's Angels films?
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
love that series.
yeah,
and
when
then I saw those
as
movies.
a young kid when I watched it, I liked it. But then now when I saw it recently, I thought, God, yeah, you know,
It's so bad.
I think I've
They
just matured.
They just use their breasts to get their way into places all the time. They're constantly just
Yeah, and it's
showing
just-
their cleavage. It's like, have you got no
Whereas
other
with
fucking
Ray,
way
she's
of getting?
she's totally convincing in style because and yeah, you could say it's because she's full sensitive, but also it's to her conviction and the fact that she doesn't have perfect hair like Charlie's Angels or
She's got
Angelina
more
Jolie, and she
hair
looks
than
like
me.
she looks like she has been in a bit of a scuffle.
Well,
and,
she got a bit of slack when she did the first movie as well. Like, at least half the fans were like, "Nah, she's crap. I don't like her."
Do you know what?
Yeah.
And you know, and unfortunately, we just live in an age where you're gonna get that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I just think
Well, at the age
expectations.
of the
I just think
internet
I've
and-
never heard of a male actor being cast in an adventurous role, and anyone kind of doubting whether he can deliver on the character. Because as long as he looks big enough, that seems to be enough for people.
Yeah.
I just think that maybe
And
that's
this is we've talked about. I think that's changing. I think I still wonder if whether Star Wars films are reflecting the zeitgeist or whether it's influencing the zeitgeist. Because I think
that's a good point.
Because I think I know what you mean historically, but I think things like Marvel, like Star Wars, and Game of Thrones, especially. I mean, the last season of Game of Thrones.
I don't think you can club Marvel into they're pushing the things in terms of like building on, like coming outside of like gender roles. Like, like come on. I mean, like Black Widow and like what's the other one? The Red Witch.
Yeah.
She ran around in what the I can't remember, whatever it was when like, it was like a floating island that they dropped on some people, whatever that one was.
But she in Civil War
she
and
was like,
Infinity
but she was
War,
running around in fucking in the like knee-high leather boots.
Okay. She's probably
It's
not
like,
the best
come on.
example. So no, you're right. Okay, maybe I'll renege a little bit.
We
Yeah.
love a debate on this show. We love a
But give me
debate.
Game of Thrones though, right? You
Oh,
give me
of course, yeah.
Cool.
But that's because the books were well written. There you go. There's an example of a well-written story, which then translates really well onto screen because they're true to the characters.
And also, I think it's a Western thing as well, because anyone who watches like martial art films from there's a lot of martial art films where you have female fighters.
Ziyi Zhang is
Well,
amazing. I love
Star
her.
Wars is basically a remake of a
Japanese
film.
Yeah,
yes.
so with like the Chinese, like a lot of the films from China, like stuff that Jet Li stuff from the 90s and stuff. They were, I can't remember the
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Well, and also there's stuff that he did. I think it's called Legend of Feng Sai. Basically, you had strong female characters in it. They were totally believable as martial artists.
You're right. I think part of it's definitely obviously it's a Western thing for sure.
Yeah. I believe that from just watching films from other parts of the world. But yeah, I mean. I can't remember where we were now. We kind of digressed massively, haven't we? I love it.
It's okay. I love digressing.
Wait, we were doing predictions. Did you do all 5 of yours?
Well, I
think you have one left.
I had one left. Oh, that was it. I forgot my biggest. No, well, it's not so much a prediction. No, actually, my prediction. Yeah, I'm going to word it as a prediction.
Okay.
I don't know what the opposite of having obsessive compulsive disorder is, but we're going to find out in this movie that one of the reasons Han and Chewie get on so well is that they have the opposite of OCD, because that can only explain how when they inherit the Millennium Falcon from like when we see it in the trailer to A New Hope, that they somehow turn it into, unless they
That's a word for that. I think it's called being slobs.
Yeah, all right. Basically, it turns out they're massive
Being
slobs.
men.
Yeah, I think my prediction is you'll see them just eating takeaways. The Star Wars
It's like Red Dwarf, basically.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
on a different spaceship.
They have a massive party at one point, and they just
It's
that's it. Like in one,
2 listeners.
in one fell swoop, the entire Millennium Falcon is just like trash. I'm like,
I can
oh, wow.
completely buy that.
So
I can
that's my
completely buy it.
prediction, that you'll see them completely trash the ship, and there'll be like champagne flowing and whatever,
The ship in this one,
death sticks, there'll be a reference to death sticks. They'll be just smoking death sticks.
the Falcon in this one is more like a luxury yacht, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've seen,
That's
it's
gonna
just
be really
it's got like a walk-in wardrobe. It's got like a bar.
Maybe this is the OCD in me. If
I reckon it's got a
won
fucking disco
luxury yacht,
Yeah.
or in a card game, I would just people.
If you want to imagine what Raj's Falcon would look like, it's basically what Lando's would be. Because you are pretty much a party
Pristine.
person like Lando. Actually, you're the closest person to Lando I know in terms of
God
like
bless
your
you, but I would
social
still-
life and the
if
way
you-
I've
if
been to
I
parties with
owned
Raj. He's Lando.
The Falcon.
He's a
in
gambler.
the
He's a ladies'
earliest-
man. He's big
I'm
into
one of those-
disco
He
and
likes
funk,
capes.
aren't you? You're big into your music as well.
But rest assured, if I
Snappy
had
dresser.
the Falcon, I would make you take your shoes off before you came
Yeah,
in.
He's definitely
fucking
Lando.
well, right. Yeah,
he's
he's
definitely
Lando.
Lando.
He's Lando.
I mean, have you seen the guy's wardrobe? He's definitely. You've got some capes, haven't you? You're like a man who owns
I have,
capes.
yeah. I just want to know how they managed to trash such a beautiful ship,
Well, it's been in a few scrapes.
It is, and in the
It's not supposed to go to was it
Yeah.
Lightspeed as well? Is it? Didn't they add that bit on? That's
They did, modified it.
Exactly. It's been every time they do that, it just tears another chunk off the side.
But still,
if you compare the
must be-
photos of the Falcon in this film to the Falcon you see when they're in A New Hope, when they're all sitting around playing chess, whatever, there's all massive, all the panels of the sort of padded panels have been ripped off the walls. They've been like all the wiring's exposed and everything's just, it's a mess. It's just, it's like
at some
a truck,
point,
a
if you were
lorry
like,
in space, basically.
if you were
a
in
lorry.
dock, you'd be like, Chewie, can you just pop to the shops and get like some disinfectant and a couple of like mops, please? Like the plate, it's hanging,
It's just a van to them. They're like they're
it's
window
true.
cleaners, Chewie and but they're smuggling drugs basically.
God.
They're basically going Dover to Calais every weekend, smuggling
candy
shit.
wrappers on the floor and stuff
Yeah.
like. Well, I want to see them. I want them to show, because for me, I just want to. That was when we did our last podcast. Like how did they fucking ruin it? Like
Yeah, just started chain
We'll
smoking.
find out.
After Kira leaves him,
Yeah,
he just goes at it 100 a day. He's on 100 fucking DNH a day. It's just the whole thing goes yellow.
She was the greatest lay I ever had.
She was just playing chess, trying to get back. But the wonderful thing about that scene where he does play chess is it's exactly the same move that R2 makes against him in A New Hope. And you know how Chewie roars and he goes, "Oh, crying about it won't help you." It's like Chewie's reaction to it there.
Maybe that's the other thing. Maybe Chewie starts.
I like that.
It's exactly
That's
the same
nice.
move, and he says there's a lesson to be learned here. You will anticipate your opponent's move, and then 30 years or 10 years later or whatever, Chewie makes the exact same mistake and gets beaten by R2D2, and it's great. It's just I'll show you the clip afterwards. It's not like it won't ruin your movie. But it's like
do you
1
think
minute.
that's it? And going back to Chewie, going back to my whole Dirty Falcon, like maybe he started
Dirty Falcon. That sounds like a great
different
podcast
movie.
in its own.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Dirty Falcon.
Oh, this is another reason for me to get into pornography. Dirty Falcon. Anyway, I reckon his baby mama and Lumpy leave him, and she goes off with an Ewok or something, and he's just totally depressed about it, and that's why they're just chain smoking in the park. I need Lucasfilm, Disney. I mean, I probably isn't time to edit the movie, but I need a good explanation to how you managed to trash the ship, because I could never do that. But yeah, that's my final prediction.
Going off with an Ewok or something.
Yeah, I mean, that would really emasculating for Chewie. That would make you chain smoke, wouldn't it? And yeah, it'd be terrible. Yeah, you should imagine those two just in the Falcon, just cans of beer and cigarettes. And
Green milk.
Green milk.
Yeah, green milk. Well, it's the blue and the green.
Yeah.
What's the best? You think green tastes bad because Luke looks like he's not enjoying that when he drinks that thing's green milk.
That's true.
It's like a sea whale.
Death sticks, strange humanoid
What
aliens.
are death sticks then? What do? You snort them? You eat them?
I don't know. That's the thing, isn't it?
I've brought something for us. Oh, Gizmo's on this show now. Here we go. We've never done this before on Blah Wars.
Okay.
We have all got... Don't look through them. Don't look through them. You can shuffle them. You shuffle them.
I'm shuffling them.
You're only allowed to look at the face-up cards, of course. Flip them over. We've got Last Jedi top trumps here.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go at it, okay? So, ladies first.
Okay.
Call out... You know how to play?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. How
You
do I
have
do
no
this?
idea how to play. All the values on this card you're looking at, okay? There's all values and there's numerical values.
Right.
You're going to look at one... You can't fan them like that.
What am I supposed to do?
That's okay. You're allowed to look at the top one. You're only allowed to look at the top one, okay,
Okay.
at one time, okay? You're going to look down the values, all the numbers down there, and you're going to call out the name of the card, and then you're going to call out one of those values and the number. Okay? So, for example, you're going to say, I can't see your card, but if we were playing Phantom Menace, for example, you would go Darth Maul, Greed 50, and then I will shout out my number corresponding with that property, and you will as well.
Okay.
And then whoever has the highest will keep everyone's card. Okay?
This is how you know this is a game made for nerds, right?
It is a game made for nerds. It's called Top Trumps.
Right.
Let's go.
Okay. BB9E.
Yeah.
Honor 20.
General Hux. Honor 39.
R2D2 Honor 36.
Okay. Pass them this way, guys. Pass them this way. They go to the bottom. Okay, so it's my turn now because I've won that round. Resistance Bomber Nix. Greed 60.
C3PO. Greed 0.
Resistance Pilot Tally, Greed 60.
Oh, I don't know what happens in the case of a draw.
Because it...
Okay, I think it's between you and me. We shout out another value. You shout another value.
Wait, hang on a minute. Greed isn't a good thing. So how come having more of it means you win? Surely having none of it means I win.
I think it works in the case for bad characters.
But mine's a good character,
Now
so
he's
I
getting
trump
nerdy
both
about
of
Top
you.
Trump.
I don't
Now
know.
he's getting nerdy
Shout
about
out another value. Shout out another value.
If I'm the good guy, how come I don't win?
You've got to pass
I
over.
think. I see. You make up the rules. This is why.
Come on, we've drawn on this. So
Because life isn't just about the good stuff. It's the
I think I win, and you're just not giving me your cards.
I don't think you
Give me your
can. I
cards.
don't think you can.
I'm
It's
a
a higher
good
value.
guy.
It's a higher value.
So my honour is 28. What's your honour?
My honour's 28 as well.
Oh my god.
Okay, you go for another one. Actually, I better go for one this time.
Go on
She
then.
called the last one.
Yeah.
All right. Fear and anger 18.
Mine's 12.
Oh, thank you very much. Pass the card over,
That doesn't
Bradie.
make any sense to me.
Okay, right.
By the way, if you think
I win
Bradie's
again.
comment of these cards not making any sense, feel free
If you
to.
think we're playing Top
to
Shots
comment.
wrong,
Comment.
get in touch
Yeah.
with the show. BB8, Honour 46.
Mine's 5. First order flame trooper on a 5.
Vice. Oh, I see. You're giving your card to him
Hold
already.
on, hold on.
I see.
Go for it, Bradie. I'm just
He's
taking the
assuming-
card. He
yeah,
passed it
he's
to
assuming
me.
you're gonna win.
He passed
Honour
it to me.
34. Give me your cards.
No, it's higher value. Mine's 46.
34. Oh. I thought you said 26.
I said 46. I'll show you.
And I don't believe you. I
There we
believe
go.
you.
Okay,
Sort of.
I'm just taking everyone's cards now.
Well, see, this is how I know. This is not how you play the game.
This is how you play the game.
Whatever.
Okay. Captain Poe Dameron,
Oh, sorry.
Honour 44.
I think I accidentally.
Flower is now featuring animal cruelty.
Oh, no.
You're right.
Accidental,
No,
sorry.
he's fine.
Gizmo's
I didn't mean
fine.
to hurt.
No, he's
Oh,
fine.
it's okay. The shame on Raj's face.
Well, I lost. Yeah.
He's fine.
Captain Poe Dameron, Honour 44.
Maz Kanata on a 33.
Okay.
General Leah Organa on a 50.
Oh, pass him that way.
Nice.
Okay, go to the back of the stack as well as Leia, and then you shout out the highest value you've got.
Wow,
in there.
that's interesting.
First order TIE pilot, greed 100.
Fucking hell! What a greedy bastard!
This one's interesting too.
First order gunner, greed 60.
Rose, greed 40, which is higher than her honour. That's weird.
That's
Well, that's
bad.
why she wanted Finn real bad.
She really did.
real
She's
bad.
desperate
She was
for Finn.
hungry. Look, you see the lustful look in her eye.
But guys,
Doesn't mess with man.
that's how you win this game. Not by destroying what you hate,
Oh,
but
Jesus.
saving what you love. That's how you win.
So mine is Luke Skywalker on a 45.
Supreme Leader Snoke on a 5.
Yeah, I just have that one.
Bailey surrendered hers without announcing it.
It's DJ, you can guess.
Oh yeah, he's got no
Got
morals.
nothing.
Kai Threnally, if that's how you pronounce it. Greed 40.
Captain Phasma, greed 120.
Jesus.
Oh,
Finn, greed 0.
Oh.
That's interesting.
that is interesting. I would say he's
That
got
doesn't
more
match my
conflict.
predictions from him
No,
for the next
not at
film.
all. Okay, Elite Praetorian Guard, greed 80.
No one's done anything interesting like fear and anger or attitude. It's true though. Sorry, what was that? Honour.
I said, yeah.
Five.
No, I said greed 80.
Oh, greed. First order stormtrooper, greed 50.
Kylo Ren,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
interesting.
greed 160.
Oh, there you go then. Fair enough. Bow to the master.
I can't believe we're playing this, and I can't believe
It's
we're
your
playing
turn.
it on air.
It's fun. How many cards you got left,
So
Bradie?
much fun. 3. Are
3,
we done yet?
nearly out. It's down to me and Raj. You might be able to win them all back.
This is
Oh,
this is
God, I
interesting.
don't want to be honest.
Based on our conversations.
You go and look at the top one. She's cheating. She's cheating,
What?
Raj.
Like it matters. Oh, come on. Could this be over?
Chewbacca,
Yeah.
honor 35. See? He left his wife and child.
Resistance Gunner Page, Rose's sister, on a 30. So that's going to
Well,
you.
we'll see what.
2 BB2,
Yeah.
honour 15.
Okay.
God.
Call it, Raj.
How did I get sucked into this?
You didn't. You did it by
Captain
choice.
Poe Dameron, honor 44.
Admiral Akbar on a 41.
Oh.
You just read it out for her.
First Order Stormtrooper Executioner, honor 15.
Okay.
I love how they've made his uniform black and
I'm losing
white.
a rapid pace now. Brady's down to her last card. It better be a good one from Raj.
Maz Kanata,
Yeah.
honor 33.
Goodness Pick something other than Honor just to make it interesting.
R2D2 Honor 36.
Oh.
Ray, Honor 40.
Oh, there you go. You're
God,
saved.
I'm
You're
not
saved
out
in the
yet.
last couple of
Jesus.
rounds. Okay, Bradie, your turn.
Oh, God.
I'll let you choose the card now.
Attitude, 6. Maskanata.
That's a very low number. It's the highest number on your entire card.
No, it's not, but just
Oh,
can
I
we
see.
be done yet?
General Huck's Attitude 7.
Oh, well, see, yours isn't very high either. I'm just trying to make it
General
more
Lear
interesting.
Attitude 2.
Oh my god!
See, it makes it more interesting.
I see your point. BB90, Honor 20.
Rose.
Bradie's hating this every
Rose
second
Honor
of
is
this
38.
game. It's supposed to be fun, Bradie. It's supposed to be fun.
I'm just trying to give you
Drink
one that was
more
lower,
wine.
and I don't have one because I beat both of you. R2D2 Honor 36.
Okay, there you go.
So I win, I'm 38.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. I'm down to one card again.
Oh my god, we've learned that Bradie's super competitive, guys. Have some more wine, Bradie. Lighten up a bit.
First order gunner,
Someone take my last card.
greed 60.
Resistance pilot, tally, greed 60.
I win. Woohoo! Greed 0. I
Oh.
win because I don't have to play anymore.
Okay, it's down to you and me, Raj. Are we going to do this? Are we going to call it?
Come
Shall we
on.
call it
You've got
quits?
to
Let's call it
back the cards. Thanks for that.
Oh,
I think
I've
there's
got
going to
to
be some serious editing.
Okay.
I love that.
No,
What
no,
did you
no,
do
no.
last Friday? Well,
So they announced that the next Star Wars celebration, this is the official Star Wars celebration convention, will take place in April 2019 in Chicago. I was expecting London, bit disappointed. However,
you couldn't. You can
well,
go
was
to
it
Chicago.
London 2016? We've got to go.
But it
We've
means
got to go.
It means we can go to Chicago. That's even better.
Yeah.
I've always
You up for going?
Yeah, I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see Chicago.
I've never been to America, so
Windy
it'll be.
City, yeah, I'd love to go. I've never been to Chicago.
Come on.
Do a four-way. Well, come on. I'm begging you to come.
Airbnb
to
will
this.
be cheaper.
It'd be great. We get like a big four-bedroom. Huh?
April.
April.
We'll see, yeah.
We'll see.
2019.
I want a yes now. We'll go. The plan is right. We'll go over to Chicago. We'll spend one day at Celebration.
Maybe
see as
two.
much as we can. Maybe two.
Depends how long we're there for.
Yeah, and then stay there for like 5 nights or whatever, and then we'll see some sightseeing. We'll recreate every shot of the montage from Ferris Bueller's Day Out. Yes, and Raj is already down.
This is why he
He's
wants to
already
go.
down. That's really why I want to go. And we're going to jump into a car and
gosh.
a convertible, and you're going to go,
I was
This
wondering-
is
Oh my God,
where
we have to
Raj
do it.
freaks out.
Please, please, please.
Please.
I was wondering if you were going to do The Untouchables, but Ferris Bueller's a lot better, yeah.
Yeah, obviously The Untouchables is a good film, but but Ferris Bueller is more Chicago, isn't it?
Yeah, Ferris Bueller is better. We'll
I'll
have
throw
to
you off the
look.
courthouse building if you want, straight into a car, if you want. But I mean, if Jude can come as well, that'd be amazing.
That'd be so cool.
Plenty of notice. Hopefully, we can get him to twist his arm. But it'd be great.
Yeah,
to
but
see-
we'll
I know
be
what
in
I'm
the
thinking.
departures
You know what I'm
lounge, they'll
thinking.
be like, guys, I can't go.
Because it's really close to New York as well. Well, it's not really close, but I
not
mean,
that close.
okay, it's a flight.
Yeah.
So
Let's go
what
to New
if we
York.
went for like 7 days, and while we were there, we did a live
know
show
people in
in
New York.
Chicago, and we did a live show in New York as well.
Yes.
Blah
Let's
Wars
do
in
it.
America.
Oh my god, let's do it.
We're going to a little kind of like. Raj looks really
It's
worried.
worried.
We're going to go into like a really kind of you know the Blue Oyster Bar in the Police Academy movies. It's like this really seedy little kind of gay club or whatever. We're going to rent a place like that out. And not like that. And then we're going to do like a live Blah Wars show in Chicago and New York in April.
I think we should pick. Let's just do the live show in New York. Let's not do it in Chicago.
Why not? We're already in
Because
Chicago.
Yeah, but we'll have to. We're gonna have to organise it and stuff as
But
well.
it'd be easy to find one bar that will put us up just for like 40 people or something.
Well, we'll put it to the audience. If there's any
yeah.
listeners
Good
in
point. Good
Chicago,
one.
New York, please get in touch
Tell
with
us
us.
you're
and-
there because
yeah,
we've got the
and
stats. We know most of our audience is in
If
California.
you think this is a good idea, it is a good idea, but if you think you can help us out, recommend any places, then please get in touch with us.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be it. We just need you to put us in touch with the bars and places around
Yeah.
Chicago and New York. Because I'd love to go and see New York as well while we're there.
Oh yeah, I mean that'd be
A
amazing.
few days at Celebration, get
there.
all the scoops live from Celebration. Meet all the fans. Maybe we'll get press passes. Talk to them. Maybe talk to Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Maybe
oh my
talk
god,
to
that'd
Mark
be incredible.
Hamill. I'll save that for you, Bradie. You can do it.
I'll be right in
We
there.
should be right
but
there.
if we'd have done,
Hold it
if we'd have
together.
done the press stuff in the London shows,
Yeah.
hopefully we won't have a problem getting press passes.
No, I don't think we will.
Can I add another extra prediction?
Yeah,
Go for it.
on.
Oh yeah.
Childish
Well, actually,
Gambino
it's-
isn't doing a song, is he?
Well, no, actually, we already know
Lando's
it's
not going to
gonna-
burst into
I
song
wonder
in
how
this
the
movie.
beginning of the because there isn't going to be that text scroll, so I wonder how the beginning of Solo.
Apparently there is.
Oh, is there?
What? Why?
Ron Howard says there is.
Really?
That's going off piste.
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to be scrolling over footage of like Wookiees being beaten and stuff.
So-
Jesus.
It is a horrible time for Wookiees.
So Rogue One.
Is that human rights violation or animal cruelty?
It's animal cruelty. Well,
No.
it's alien cruelty.
Okay.
The Empire don't care for aliens.
I
but-
know. Yeah, you've said this before, and you're
Yeah,
completely
they don't.
right.
They don't. They're just there's no aliens
It's
in the
total
Empire.
fascist, yeah.
They are. They're total like
Humanoid.
it's a human cause, isn't it? Every
right, I'm thinking-
every
Yeah.
all life is inferior next to human life in the Empire.
God, that's so funny. Do you reckon that's the next thing that Star Wars fans will say? We need more kind of diverse representation in the
We need
Empire.
more droids.
Yeah.
We need more aliens. we need more.
There are
We need
people
more
that live just going,
pansexual
look, we just
people."
didn't have the fucking money back in '77.
Yeah.
Okay, there wasn't any prejudice.
There wasn't no exactly, but I did wonder, when you see the Empire, it is all humans, but the Mos Eisley's thing where it's all aliens.
Well,
There's
this is why-
no
this is why I'm
aliens
It's a
in
really
it at
good
all.
point, though, because even in the new ones, they still stick to that. Everyone I'm pretty sure, right?
The only aliens they use are the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They're the only ones they use.
But do you know? I think that it's being slightly sick.
Oh, and
You-
the garbage monster.
So when J.J. Abrams did the reboot of Star Trek, they deliberately had more kind of Starfleet characters,
mixed
that had
species
mixed
characters,
species. And
yeah.
I think that although they're following a certain template, I think in the future, maybe the movies, but maybe the TV shows, once you've got special effects and technology locked down, people will be like, all it takes is one creative director to go, you know what, we can do stuff now. We can do all this stuff that we couldn't do 40 years ago. And I think that's what all it is. I think that's all it is. I think someone will come along and they'll start doing it a little bit differently, just
They
because.
are making such an effort with the prosthetics and actually, rather than just going, oh, we'll CGI that. Like, look at that scene where in the trailer where Lando's playing cards.
I mean, look at Simon Pegg's role
Surrounded by-
in Simon Pegg's character in Force Awakens.
Yeah.
The fact that they created that character, or Maz, what's her fate?
Maz
Maz
Kanata.
Kanata.
Thank you. Maz
That's
Maz-
motion capture though, right?
Yeah, but I think we'll see more of that, and I think that will just, as it becomes cheaper and more effective to do, will probably, all it takes is a little petition or something, and then I think you'll see more of the Empire or the First Order having more a diverse representation. Because you've got that in terms of ethnicity and gender, so that's the
But I
next thing,
like
isn't it?
the idea that they're doing that, maybe doing that deliberately to show that kind of like that fascist sort of you must be one of us thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and the rebellion's more about it doesn't matter.
We have no illusions. We are in charge, like Alan Rickman in Die Hard. Be under no illusions.
Oh,
We are
dear.
in charge. What are your general feelings about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
I love that.
Oh my-
He makes it.
Oh, it's one of my favourite films of all
love it.
time.
I totally agree. I think he's the best.
Yes!
Thank
Why
you.
is it such a bad film? Everyone thinks it's a bad film. It's got like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like a
I love
it's a
that
slapstick
film.
freaking movie. I mean, it's great. I mean,
I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon. What a great line.
He's
or,
genius.
Or that bit where he goes, you.
Brian Blessed's in it.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
you 10 foot
11 o'clock, bring
Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, exactly. He's great.
I think we should do a whole spin-off podcast. Maybe one episode.
We
The
keep
Robin
talking
Hood,
about
Prince
this.
of
Yeah, we
Thieves.
should, yeah.
but you and I, we've got to do our little
Yeah.
thing on the side.
Yeah.
The podcast as well.
So, shall we wrap this up then?
we
We
should
need to-
wrap
we need
this
to
up.
talk
I do
about
need
one more
to.
thing.
I need to talk about two more things.
Okay.
Talk about that thing first.
Okay, first thing is I want to talk about TBT Studios. So I know a guy who makes incredible, he makes pins, he makes patches and stuff, and they've got a Star Wars-esque pin going on at the moment.
It is gorgeous.
It is awesome. With
Bradie
Strike
hands
Back.
me a little Jiffy bag. I undid this Jiffy bag, and guess what's inside it? It looks like the Empire Strikes Back logo. It just says Strike Back, and it's repeated. It looks gorgeous.
It is awesome.
I'd say it's a better logo than the Blah Wars one, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, he'd be
And
really,
I wondered
really
if it was a
flattered.
podcast.
No.
I said, "Is it a podcast?" Because you were at
No,
at
this
the
is
room
their
when
newest,
I
their
opened
newest
this.
kind of merch. So they make stuff kind of like for fun, but I know they're both big Star Wars. I know that at least one guy is a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And and he made this one, and I saw it on
So
his
it's a little
Instagram.
kind of a little pin badge that says "Strike Back" and it's repeated. It looks beautiful, absolutely
really cool.
beautiful.
Anyway, hopefully we'll be able to we'll get to work with these guys a bit more in the future.
Oh,
Maybe when
Blah
we
Wars
have
pin
some more.
badges.
Exactly, we can do pins, we can do
Tell your
patches,
sister.
we can do exactly. We can do more t-shirts.
I told my sister. If you get if you actually like subscribe, it'll say "I told my sister."
But I know it's but yeah, so they're called TBT Studios. You can find them on Instagram. But we can get the proper handle and stuff anyway. But these guys
Yeah.
are really cool. You should check them out if you can. Like
We'll
I said,
put
they've
them
got a
in the
little
link
bit of
for this week's
Star Wars
episode,
merch
so that you can
going on. And
check
hopefully
them out.
we'll do stuff with them in the future. But thanks, Jeremy. This is awesome. He just
Thank you,
I
Jeremy.
just bumped into him in a pub and he was like, "Here you go."
Aww.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jeremy. I need to plug a podcast I was on this week as well. It's out now. I've been moonlighting.
Really?
You know I do this now and again.
No.
So my friend
Kept that
Hayden
quiet.
does a James Bond podcast,
Amazing.
and it's called Podcasters Royale. And in the shows, they focus on a particular film and they discuss the film at length and whatever. So I've done a few with him. But I did one for Moonraker, which is arguably one of the worst James Bond films ever.
I
But
don't think I've seen that one.
you've never seen Moonraker?
No, I don't think so.
But Jules falls in love in it.
Yeah, Jaws falls in love with a woman.
Oh wait, no, I have seen this
Yeah?
when I was a kid. Like
You know
I
what happens,
remember
though?
it. I remember flashes of it.
The woman runs up to Jaws. He's got like a wheel over his head, and he pushes it off, and she helps him. He dusts himself off. They look at each other, and it's like da, 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 da. She smiles at him. He smiles at her. Metal teeth. She smiles at him. Normal teeth. They should have given her braces. Because if they'd given her braces, that would have been it. But when you look at that scene, all you can notice is her cleavage because it's so enormous.
Isn't there a Star Wars reference in that? Oh, no, it's a close
Well,
encounter.
Moonraker was entirely done because it was supposed to be Furo's Only was the next film, but they changed it to Moonraker because of Star Wars.
Yeah, I thought I read
Star Wars
some-
was
yeah.
such a big hit. They were like, we've got to get Bond into space. So they send him to
Lol.
space, and they have like a laser fight at the end, and it's ridiculously wacky and stupid, and the whole film's full of ridiculous things. There's a gondola chase.
How
A
have I not-
high-speed gondola
I've
chase.
definitely seen some of this because I remember the guy with the metal teeth because it freaked me out as a kid. But I would have been
But he's
really
in The Spy
young.
Who Loved Me as well.
I would have been really, really young. I remember him smiling at the girl.
Oh, okay.
That stuck in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would have been super young, like 7 maybe.
Okay. Well, I did not a commentary, but it is like a 2-hour episode, 2.5 hours, I think it is. It's a
Christ.
big episode, and also it was done over Skype, and Hayden's technology sort of let him down, so it sort of sounds like it's just a phone call. Sounds like a phone call, and then for 2 hours, if you fancy listening to a 2-hour phone call with 3 people. Go ahead. And then to make things worse, because it went on a bit long and it started quite late, I got very drunk.
Of course. That made it much funnier.
I mean, I literally sat down with a bottle of ginger ale, a big bottle of 2-litre bottle of ginger ale, a bottle of Jack Daniels, which is brand new. I started mixing them together during the show, just necking this down. And when I got to the end, there was maybe like 1/4 of the Jack Daniels left. That was a lot of Jack Daniels consumed in that time. Next morning, I woke up with no memory of doing the show, and I listened back to it. I skipped through it, got to the end, and I'm slurring my words. I sound utterly cunted. So I mean, I'm
Not
very
the C
sorry.
word, John, not the C
I'm
word.
very sorry to Hayden. I got very drunk while I was making your show. There's like a bit at the end where Hayden goes, "What did you think of Miracle?" I'm like, well, it's just... it's not my favourite. You can just tell I'm
so by
absolutely fucking
comparison,
drunk.
you're really well behaved on Blah Wars.
I am very well behaved on
People
Blower.
aside, you're very well behaved.
I am pretty well behaved. But we don't do this show for 2.5 hours and I don't drink Jack
True.
Daniels while I record
Wait,
it.
what we did get a bit tipsy on the other one we did. What was that one? I think it was the one we did after The Last Jedi. I remember there being a bottle of wine that you and I drank, and then we went for pizza. We were a little bit tipsy.
And we got into a
one.
conversation about a guy called Johnny.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing it now. Absolutely not.
We're not going to talk about it. We cut the conversation about a guy called Johnny.
No, we're not doing
I want to know what this is about.
No.
So does
Veto.
someone else.
No, we're not doing it.
Veto. Okay, we're going to wrap it up.
Jude
Get this
agree
woman
with me.
another glass of wine. I won't.
I'll tell you after
It's a
this.
separate podcast.
I'll tell you off it.
I know, I'm sure you will.
Guess
yeah.
what? Jude's dad's been on the Instagram again. Guess where he's been
Amazing.
down?
Where?
Beefeater this time.
I knew you were going to say Beefeater. I knew it.
He does. Jude's dad seems to eat exclusively
How do you
90s restaurant
Beefeater
chains.
to our audience members that haven't been? If you're Australian or American or wherever, like Beefeater is.
It's a sort of. It's sort of like Wendy's, I suppose, in America.
It's not. Wendy's is more kind of fast.
More
food.
TGI Fridays.
It's think of like a really
Really
TGI
bad,
Fridays
really
for white
bucket
trash.
tea.
That's
Yeah.
probably the best way to describe it. Like a bad. I mean, I don't know what the level down from TGI Fridays is if you're in the US, but that's what it is. But it's a steakhouse, and I use
still have
it
those
KFC.
very
KFC is
loosely.
right below it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's big in the 80s, if that means.
Have you ever eaten a Harvester?
I have. In fact,
Big fan?
I've got a very quick.
Go on,
anecdote.
go for it.
So
Harvester, we love the Harvester on Bar Wars, don't we,
Jesus
Bradie?
Christ. You should be charging for this.
I was brought up. So I've got my mother. I was kind of raised in an interesting thing.
He's got his mother.
My mum's Christian. My dad's Hindu, and Hindus don't eat beef. And when I was younger, so like in my early
beef here for
teens,
you.
I didn't eat any beef. And then I got to 16, 17, and suddenly discovered. Girls and booze and what
And
have
beef.
you. And suddenly decided I'm not religious anymore.
Boobs and beef. There you go.
So having not eaten beef for about 6, because I ate beef as a kid and then didn't eat for 6 years, I still remember like 18, 19 years of age. Well, I was religious, yeah. That day I had three Big Macs, and for dinner I went to a Harvester.
And then it's like no beef either 6 years.
He went on an insane beef
I
bender.
had a massive beef binge. And my first and only experience of Harvester was going to a Harvester it was my first, not only, but having had 3 Big Macs in a row, having not eaten beef for 6 years, went to the guys, I was at uni at the time, I was like, guys, shall we just go to Harvester that night? I just had steak.
Was James there?
Were you violently ill?
James wasn't there. I had beef and chips and
Were you violently ill?
I wasn't actually. I just couldn't get enough of. Yeah, it was just funny. So that's my Harvesters like Beefeater as well. It's more of a pub fare type.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cheap steak.
Oval plate,
Yeah.
enormous like T-bone steak,
Yeah.
unlimited salad. That's the Harvester.
I pretty much put anything in my mouth now. Just yeah.
And on that bombshell. Oh wait, no, that's Top Gun.
Well, okay.
Okay.
So next time we see each other is in like 3 days' time. We're doing the Solo screening. I'm so fucking excited for this
Here we
now.
I'm getting
I'm
excited.
actually
Yeah.
less
good.
excited for the film and more excited about meeting you guys and just going along and seeing the
Oh, check this guy out.
film together. We're having breakfast beforehand.
We can greet Pug after this.
Last time we did the...
Are we going to make it spoiler free, or are we going to?
No, there'll be 15 minutes of spoiler-free conversation at the beginning,
And then we're going to have to talk about
and
it.
then we're talking spoilers.
Yeah.
At which point we warn everybody, and everyone can turn themselves off if they want. Last time we did this, we went to Bill's. You know Bill's, the old.
I know Bill. We're good friends.
We went to Bill's, and we had a breakfast there, an enormous breakfast with cups of coffee and everything. Got chatting to the manager because it was really empty in there. He was talking to us about Star Wars for ages, and then he brought the bill over, no pun intended, and he brings it over and he goes, "Tell you what, lads, just pay for the coffee."
That is
Food's
not
on me."
happening to us this time.
That might happen to us this time. That's why we're going
Well,
back.
I know, that's why we're
So
going.
we start the day with a
I'm having
breakfast.
steak and eggs for breakfast after this
Oh,
conversation.
yeah,
so-
go for it. We're starting the day with breakfast. We're going to go and see
It's going to be great.
Solo at the IMAX, and then we're going to be recording the show, and you guys will hear it that evening. So
Yeah,
join
the
us
IMAX
then.
in Waterloo, right?
Yes, the
Yeah.
BFI IMAX, the biggest screen in. I think it's
in Europe.
Is it Europe?
Europe,
Yeah.
yeah. Biggest screen
It's
in
gonna be
Europe.
good.
And we've got fucking great seats as well, if you don't mind.
really?
Oh, yeah, they're
Fucking
like
both
middle of the
French.
middle, right?
Oh
They
god,
are-
middle. That's
They're
yeah.
middle. They're great.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
When that text scrolls up at the beginning, it's actually going to look like it's not even in 3D. It's going to be so perfectly aligned with our eyes.
Do you know what? When the last podcast,
If it even scrolls up, that is.
when we did the review of the trailer, I was very cynical. But now I don't know why. Maybe I'm just like, I'm just open to this. It's going to be
just
interesting.
softened.
Yeah, I think I don't really have any expectations. I don't know about you guys. As in, you know, to me it is canon, but it's not like Last Jedi, like part of the main. I just want to see.
I'm not nowhere near as excited for this as I will be, obviously, for 9. I can't.
But I'd say savour it, because after this we've got a long wait for the next Star Wars film.
But we'll still be here doing.
We will still be here because somehow we keep churning them out every week. We've got this something we've got to remake the prequels.
Yes, we're doing that. We are doing that. Okay.
I really want to get sort of crowdfunding for that, so that we can actually get vocal talent on board. But you're totally welcome to join us.
Thank you. I'll be Jar Jar. Oh no, we're having Jar Jar.
We're not having Jar Jar in our prequels.
Screw Jar Jar.
I'm going to cast you as Obi-Wan.
I think that's racist, personally. Jar Jar.
Yeah, he is racist.
Yeah, it's Jarist. I don't know. They're Gunganist.
Yeah.
Gunganist.
Speciesist, is that a thing?
I don't know. Probably is.
I'm going to have a Gungan Holocaust. I'm going to cut them all out.
If I did the prequels, I'd have Jar Jar as Lando's ex-boyfriend. That's what since he's pansexual. Yeah.
That would work.
That would work
nicely.
Is that how you pansexual? Yeah, that's what
pansexual would cover that, I think. Yeah.
We've come full circle.
Okay.
Once again.
Okay.
Get this.
I've been John Galantini.
I've been Raj.
I've been Bradie Tippett.
And may the Force be with you. Enjoy Solo. Don't spoil it for your friends. Have a great time. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.